Alright, let's go ahead and start a new one here. This took longer than I expected because the save data I had from my previous game got corrupted and I had to start over. Fortunately, being at the very beginning of the campaign and most of the main storyline stuff was still not revealed, it doesn't make much of a difference to those listening that everything got wiped out. Unfortunately, it does make a lot of difference to me because I had read most of that storyline and I liked where it was going. Of course, the storylines are branching. There's no guarantee it'll go where I think, well, I can see a lot of different directions it can go, and I was excited to explore it. Which is one of the cool things about Chaotica storylines. You can try them again and again. You can try the same storyline and again, and the default is 6 different endings, but there's no reason it has to be limited to those 6 endings, depending on what decisions the characters make. And speaking of decisions, we left off last time where Rike was about to make a potentially interesting decision. And of course, since this is just an NPC main character, which I guess non-player character, main character, I'm not sure if that works or not, but that's what we're doing. So in any case, instead of having a player make the decisions, I figure out what are the possible decisions, look at the personality code for the character in question, which incidentally has changed because I had to re-roll all the characters. But Rika is still mostly the same. I remember what her personality code was last time. Actually, looking at it now, that's totally different. There's one aspect which is mostly the same. Everything else is wildly different. And I'm going to change that right now, actually, because there are a few key points of that personality which I can remember from the first time, which were not the same, and change them back now, make them a little bit more closer to what they were. And yes, she is from Starscream now. I decided I'll just go with that because that's the playful nature of Chaotica for you. So she was walking up this coastal cliff, and she could see something looking down back at her. And I don't think we described exactly what it was, but we did have a picture of it, and I feel bad changing it since we actually uploaded a picture of it, and I went to the trouble of making an AI art for it, even though it doesn't look like the actual description of the thing, because AI art rarely ever does. It is entirely appropriate, by the way, to use AI art for a game which is generated by random numbers. I said it before, I'll say it again. That's one of the reasons I started doing this, is because I realized, hey, I can actually make visuals and not just have you listening to my voice. So, Rike is walking up the hill and sees this raven looking down back at her. Giant raven, probably about as big as she is, loaded in shadow magic. She can tell that. She can tell that it's the same kind of magic she uses. And it's got some kind of curse on it. She's not sure what's happened to it, what it was before, but it's been pretty heavily cursed. She can sense the magic in it. She can sense the curse in it. Let's see. First roll to see if she does. She recognizes it. A bit of her memory comes back, and Rike realizes that she did this curse. It looks beyond her abilities now. She can see the curse there, and something in it tells her this is her handiwork. She did this curse. Whatever this raven is, or whatever is underneath the layers of shadow magic covering it, whatever it is, she did this. And that makes her a bit curious and also a bit wary, because she can see that the skill it took to make this curse is beyond what she has now, that's for sure. Which immediately tells her that something happened where she lost a lot of her abilities. She's not sure what caused it, but she knows right now that this is something that she did. She was a lot more skilled when she did it, and it makes her wonder, why did I do this? What is behind this thing? Do I want to try to undo this? Maybe it's better for me to leave it the way it is, whatever this is. Which brings us to another roll here. And let me think about what exactly am I rolling for here. Success or fail? Is it likely to succeed or fail? Yeah, it fails. Alright, so nothing happens there. Oh, I guess that's another thing I need to roll for. Yeah, it totally attacks her. Okay. Raven dives in, attacks. What does she do? Alright, it comes at her, flapping and scratching, and she kind of staggers back and tries to do something there. Reflexively, she manages to hide herself in shadow. Not that it makes much of a difference. It's dark, it's night. The thing is attacking her more out of a sense for her than rather than because she's there. So that's definitely a thing. What else happens? Does she try to use the sword that she pulled out? She puts her hand on it and realizes she doesn't really know how to use a sword very well. Decides that it's better than nothing, and at least draws the thing to kind of point it, just keep it pointed at the bird so that it has something between her and it. So there's at least that. She is not much of a fighter. Personality code tells me that. She wants to get away from this thing. And there were the two mages earlier that she found, so she runs back. She tries to kind of retreat back to where she can get to the other mages, see if they can maybe help. They are far away, though, and the bird is not far away. It is in her face, trying to cause problems. Alright, so we have two questions here. Hit with the sword, and how does it hit her? And breaking even for the most part. Managed to scratch each other up a little bit, but not much beyond that. She tries to escape. Does it let her escape, basically? Yeah, it tries to stop her, but she gets away. And she's running. Can it hear her, follow her? Yeah, it tries to. It's kind of on her tail, but flopping around. It's suffering from something. The curse that she caused, interestingly enough. And she finally outruns it and gets away. Yes, I did all of that with random dice that I have here in front of me, and I can reload them whenever I like. I have a bunch of pre-rolled numbers here that I use for that, and I don't actually see what they are, so I'm discovering it as we move along. I mentioned it previously how I use the random numbers here, so there's that. Let's see what else happens. Next we have she gets back to the mage couple that she saw earlier. I lost that information, but I believe they were called Sama and Trark. I guess I could go back to my other video and look it up. At this point, we'll just call them Sama and Trark because the whole world got basically reset too. I'm still upset about that. The storyline, the lore, everything gone. Oh, frustrating. Fortunately, it is easy to re-roll lore, storyline, and I had remembered some things. I remember she's from a swamp, so I got that. But the entire storyline that we would be looking at from the previous start that I gave is gone, and we have a different storyline now. That's easy to change near the beginning. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again. But let's see. Of course, now I have a backup too, so there's that. Let's see. So yeah, she runs back, finds Sama and Trark. So they come back and say, "Hey, welcome back. What did you find?" Trark asks, since he is the talkative one here. And wow, he is way more talkative with that personality code than he was before. Let's tone that down a little bit. I'm going to make him talkative. I'm not going to make him a radio head here. Let's see. Talkative, but not human radio. I don't feel like role-playing that at the moment. Though it's interesting to consider, just the guy who just will not shut up. That is possible under the personality codes here. Maybe another character might end up rolling that personality. We'll see. In any case, looks like... So yeah, he asks, did you learn anything? And yes, she learned some things. She considers for a moment whether or not she wants to share what she learned, and decides, yeah, why not share it? So she shares what she learned. Primarily that she found something that she caused a curse for. She is not all that trusting. She doesn't have a lot of choice at the moment, though. Yes, she does. She could just walk away. Eh, she made the choice. Let's go with it. Yeah, she says that, yeah, she learned that she used to be a lot more powerful in shadow magic than she is now, and that there is something that she used, that she cursed here, and it tried to attack her. She got away. Oh yeah, is it still following her? Let's do a quick roll on that. No, it has stopped following her. So let's see. She explains what happened. Fought with this giant raven. It's been cursed with shadow magic. She did the curse. She recognized it, and it looks well beyond her abilities as they currently are. So she recognizes the shadow mage much more powerful than she is, but who has the exact same signature she has, did this. Which I suppose there are possibilities where it wasn't her that did it, but that's the conclusion she reached, is that she caused it and is now running away from it. Let's see. So there's that. Oh, the coastal cliffside things. Yeah, I re-rolled the map too. And that is different from the way it was. It doesn't matter. This map is basically moot anyway. Which brings us to the next point, where you have Sama and Trark say, alright, well, that tells me enough. Sama and I have been discussing things, and we think that it would be... We've decided to let you come with us. That is, assuming you want to come with us. And normally, Rike would say no, because she's not particularly the trusting type. She gets the impression that she had other people that she trusted, and they are not here right now. I should actually roll for that. Yes, she does get that impression. And with that impression, she feels like she needs to find, well, Speltha, among others. She needs to find Speltha. She wants to find the person who wrote this note. Does she show them the plans? Did she show them the note last time? Maybe. She decides that she was already been too trusting as it is, and decides, okay, we'll just keep on going with this. But they say, all right, we can go. You can follow with us at least until you get your memories back. And what's her name? Sama says basically, hey, I could just try to undo the curse. To which Trark hears, Sama's suggestion that she can undo the curse. He just laughs at that. It's like, we're not that desperate yet. We are not that desperate yet. Your anti-curse spells could well leave her worse off than she is. Let's let her overcome it on her own. But I think we can go ahead and take her with us. To which Sama says, like, really? Where are we going? It's like, anywhere. And Sama takes that as a cue and says, fine by me. And she stands up, readies a spell, and before Rika can say no, they are teleported to a new location. And you get to watch me re-roll a new location. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's actually not too bad. I have no idea where it is, but neither do they, apparently. Let's bring in the new location. Okay, oh yeah, let's roll for where they are on this new map. Alright, so looks like they pop up next to this barricade line. Various wooden spiked barricades here. Is a giant fishbowl next to them. Hooray for random numbers and Alice in Wonderland type strangeness. I can always up the strangeness. If I want to give this a more of like an Alice in Wonderland vibe, there are things you can do to make it look weird. Mostly I just don't interpret. I just let the random numbers be whatever they are, and I let them be whatever they are. And stuff gets weird. Oh, I always give a little bit of a flavor to the things I see. There's always a little extra to it. But in any case, yeah, they're next to this barricade line, smoke in the air, still dark. They can't see anything. Oh, I guess Sama just creates a ball of light. That'll do. So Sama seems to have a very different set of magic skills than Trark does. Kind of calming silver light that fills the area around them, illuminates them, and makes them, of course, obvious to anyone who happens to be looking around. And yes, they can see shadows from the fishbowl, from this. They look around. Rike is kind of wary, looking around, and yes, she can detect traps here. And yes, this place is absolutely loaded with traps. She can see the immediate area around them. No people, no animals. Oh yeah, not too far away, they see this big bonfire. Oh, yes, a bonfire that used to be a house. So that was burnt out. Where else can they see burning buildings? That's the real visible thing that you can see. Yeah, burning buildings are the easiest thing to see in the dark. And there's definitely one where they are. Where are the other burning buildings? They can see one nearby to the south, another to the east, some others far in the distance to the west, further in the distance to the south. Those are some big deal traps. In fact, that's everything else. Mostly in this area is traps. And can Rike tell that it is mostly traps? I think the answer is probably yes, but let's roll for it. Yeah, oh yeah, she can tell. She can see through the shadows that traps are definitely a big deal here. Lots of things going on. Okay, main events. Yeah, I like that. We want to increase the drama. More drama is always good. So we have here. All right, so first things first. Everyone senses out with their magic to see, all right, what do we got here? Rike can feel, yep, there's lots of traps here. And Trark is, oh, no, we have to stop them right now. Or just leave immediately. At which point, Sama is asking, what happened to this place? Some kind of battle, you can see it's on fire. Rike says there are people this way. She points to the east. And something with shadow magic, powerful, just to the south of us here. Trark is like, okay, well, we don't care about that right now. We need to make a decision fast. Are we leaving or are we stopping them? Who's them? Says Sama. Doesn't matter. We need to stop them or get out of here. Rike is feeling. Rike is feeling not. I just realized it sounds like Enrique, even though it's a she. So why not? We can work with it. It's fantasy names. Rike is deciding, nope, time to go. I don't want to deal with these people or their problems. This is someone else's battlefield, and I need to figure out how to do stuff first. I'm not going to relearn my training here. So Rike says, I'm voting to get out of here. And Sama, let's see, what does Sama's personality code say? I need to bring them up with her since they're functionally her party right now. Oh, we don't know where Sama and Trark are from. We don't need to know where they're from yet. But we need to have an info dump for where the rest of the world is and stuff. And Trark says, fair enough. Rike, you want to get out of here? Sama, do you want to teleport us again or just run? And Sama says, yeah, let's run. And they ran north. Ran right through this scorched hillside and leave this burning city behind them. Running uphill, and they find themselves moving through the mist and the smoke and everything. Alright, just the formatting issues. Alright, we're good. So, we have here, they come running up into slopes going up. Where do they end up? So if they go from the ash-covered hillside, that will take them to a small ash cone, interestingly enough. This seems much older. And kind of take shelter beside the ash cone. Ground is nice and warm. And they decide this is a reasonable place to rest and wait till morning. I need to parse this area now, and as I'm parsing the area, let's just run through kind of a conversation that they end up having. So they want, Rike wants to know, alright, we're in some place relatively safe here, though I don't know why you couldn't have stayed where we were last time. Just by the ocean seemed nice enough. And no, Trark says that nope, we couldn't stay by the ocean. There were people who were looking for you there. The same people who carried away your friend. And Trark says, well, I don't know if I can give you a news report for the world as it is now. I can tell you about recent history. About 6 minutes. It took me about 6 minutes to parse that map. Alright. And now let's go ahead and do an info dump where Trark tells Rike about the world they live in. And he doesn't know about recent history all that much because he doesn't keep tapped into local events. He's much more interested in future events and the events of the distant past. What's happening right now is not particularly interesting to him. Though, does he know any rumors? Roll for it. What rumors does he hear? Yeah, he's heard some rumors. So he's heard about various cataclysms across the land. That's old news. Recent news. Forces from Starscream are on the move. In fact, he thinks those are the ones that were after you and your friend. There's all sorts of scheming politics, different people doing things. Mostly you have everyone fighting in the south, with Rogue's Glade raiding its neighbors, retreating back to their volcano. Then there is Sky Tomb, which is further south. They have their occasional imperialist ambitions, not so much. Sky Tomb is allied with Wizard's Pass, and they've been working on things for a while. They generally keep to themselves. When they do work through the rest of the world, they do it through Sky Tomb. Rogue's Guard on the west. They generally keep to themselves, it looks like. So, do any of those jog your memory, Rike? Yeah, she remembers. She remembers hearing something about Rogue's Glade and wanting to go there. In fact, she has vaguely positive memories about Rogue's Glade. It's maybe a place we can start trying to find after we wait for the sun to rise, talk to some locals, figure out where we are, or we could just try to teleport again. Which Sam was like, I thought you didn't want to risk our lives with another random teleport. And it's like, it doesn't have to be a random teleport. And she says that would be even more risky. It's like, yes. But the last century or so has been marked by all sorts of cataclysms in the world. The place is ripping itself up. You have volcanoes and various magic forces tearing things apart. The various nations use magic as a weapon as much as they can. There have been even scarier magics from the past that have been mostly sealed away. I have managed to divine the locations of a few of them, and I am content to leave them where they are. The gods abandoned this world years ago, or centuries ago, and I'm not nearly that old, he says. And Samus says something about, you might as well be. They say that wisdom comes with age. I think it comes with experience, and experience comes with experience, not with age. Yes, we can quote him on that. That would be... I don't know if there's a way to put quotes and stuff up on the video where I can have that there, but that's a fun quote to leave. I'll see if I can add text to these videos or not with the editor I'm using. Maybe I'll try to find a better editor too. But in any case, the world has ripped itself apart several times, pulled itself together several times. Sama and I are content to wander the world and let it fend for itself. We can probably take care of ourselves no matter what happens. We are content to do so. It looks like you have greater ambitions, though. Please, Rike says, tell me about my ambitions. Anything you can tell me about me might help me jog my memory. Hearing about Rogue's Glade was helpful. Well, let's see. I don't know that much else, he says. The world's been a rough and unpleasant place ever since the gods abandoned it. I don't know what happened before then. They put a block on divinations before that time. which is a convenient way for me to say that I didn't generate that history before what happened, before the gods abandoned it, which I could roll that up. I could just roll up histories that end with gods abandoning a place, and the end connects with the beginning here, and I'll say that's what the history was before then, if I want to roll up history from centuries before. Not necessary at the moment. And so, let's see, what else does he say about world history that she might want to know? Yeah, just a bunch of cataclysms. The volcano blew its top about a century ago and changed the shape of the land. It kind of makes up the center of everything. The warp caves ripped up the deep underground and formed vast underground passages. Don't know what's down there. Could be a whole nother civilization. Probably is. We know that there are people who went down there and they never returned. We don't know what's down in the deep underground, but there is a deep underground that was magically created. We call them the warp caves. Alright. Anything else useful? Shakes his head, not really. The nations that are mostly fighting over the surface, there's Starscream in the north. They occasionally come down and try to conquer the rest of the land, so it's very much the Imperial power that tries to take everything. They control all of the north. In the center, we have the volcano where Rogue's Glade and Wizard's Pass hang out. They keep that as their base of operations, and the other surrounding nations do try to topple them if they can. Skytomb is also claims the area around the volcano. They keep mostly to the farmlands surrounding it. They are well known for keeping dangerous and experimental magic. They are well known for dangerous and experimental magic. They're willing to try almost anything. A very strange, combative people. Of course, Wizard's Pass is associated with Rogue's Glade. There is Rogue's Guard in the west, where they keep their Dawn Castle? Oh yeah, Dawn Castle out in the east. Yeah, Dawn Castle is definitely its own empire out in the east. They are known for their mages. Dawn Castle definitely has some very famous mages. So Rike and Sama... Alright, so we're back. So there they were, Rike, Sama, and Chark at the edges of this volcano, talking about the state of the world and various things until dawn. We revealed some of what he gave a good overview of what other countries are out there. He doesn't care much about the world. They don't talk much about what he and Sama can do. She's tired, they're kind of tired, they sleep a bit, though they do put some wards around them so they can stay mostly hidden. Actually, is that a thing any of them can do? Wards? Sama could probably do that. Trark, actually, is... Those aren't wards, but they work just as good as wards. So yeah, they got some wards. Trark puts up something... He could call them wards, even if they're not. So Trark sets up those defenses there. They sleep. And as the sun rises, and they look out over the landscape below them, they realize several things. One, they are definitely on the slope of a volcano, and since there's only really one volcano around, that tells them pretty much where they are. And two, the sky is absolutely broken with webs of golden tendrils that came down that night and fell into the city below. Whatever the magic effect was that those things did, it has come and gone, and this is just the after effect. But something happened down there. We could roll for them seeing, detecting, what is that? Yeah, they don't know what it is. None of them have any clue what it is. Rike can tell that it is not shadow magic. And in fact, she can tell that it's the opposite of shadow magic. Light. Something. Yeah, that was not... Would she be able to tell that? Yeah, she could tell it was light magic, and she can tell that it was at a fraction of the power that it should have been. She doesn't know how she knows that, but there's a lot of things that she doesn't know that she knows. That's the story so far. So they find themselves on the slope of the volcano at the edges of Rogue's Glade, looking down into it, or at least one of the cities of Rogue's Glade, because each nation has several cities. That city is probably not... That section of that city, at least, is not much. That section of that city, at least, is not what it used to be. After apparently having a battle fought in it, and then whatever that magic calamity was that fell down on top of it. But we see more things going on with the world. It'll be interesting to see what happens next time. I think that technically finishes our prologue, so we'll be starting with Chapter 1 next time. And till then...